How you doing? Catching anything or what?
There's a few.
Yeah.
Two bites. Water, a little bit cold. There's actually a plastic they're using, but they definitely is.
Oh, yeah. What are you actually using?
32nd ounce big one, and about a half hour really on
Oh, yeah. And what kind of float? What are you using?
Rocketbobber.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Rocketbobber, the junior size I'm using today. I don't use them anymore. The Rocketbobber.
Oh, yeah. Can I? Do you mind if I film you a little bit here?
No.
Just kind of film your technique and see what's going on.
Yeah, as long as it's not a requirement to catch the fish.
Hang on, let me see what I can do. Can you show me your setup that you got going on?
Sure. I'm fishing only in about 2 feet of water here, so I'm only set up about a foot, a little better. And it's just a 32nd ounce jig head with a going with white today because it's pretty bright out, so bright colors, bright day. It's worked really well in the past.
How does that lay? Does that lay like vertical?
Horizontal in the water.
Oh, it does.
And I guess it really doesn't look like much to anything, but it seemed to work pretty good.
Then you got a Rocketbobber up on top, huh?
Rocketbobber up on top. Oh, this channel here is probably close to 40-45 yards wide, and I can sit on this side and I can work everything along that other side. If I want to cast between these two piers or under that boat lift, I can reach it from here, so I can cover a lot of water with this Rocketbobber, and that's what I really like about it. The castability and then the sensitivity, I think, too. Anything touches that and it starts to stand up or move. You can't. There's a little perch on here this time, I think, but that just goes to show even a small fish just moves it. Touches it, you can see that bobber move.
No kidding. Oh yeah, you do have a perch.
Yep, just a little one.
What the heck? So what's the concept now? What's going on here?
As far as the
you're using a plastic and then you're casting this out.
Yeah. What I'm doing is generally what I try and do is work the fronts of the piers and even in between the piers, and then I work it back across towards me, just ever so slow. Just jerk it back a little bit, let it sit. Jerk it back, let it sit. Just kind of pick a target and figure out where they might be. I like to cast over to that pier because there's a minnow bucket sitting in front of it. And if there's minnows swimming around, those fish are probably somewhere right around there watching them. So, and just let it sit for a second or two, and then give it a little pull or a little twitch like that, and just work my way back, and I can kind of fan this whole area again with using the Rocketbobber. The ones bobbers I used to use, I maybe get them halfway across here. If there's a wind, forget it. Better be casting with the wind. These things, I can cast them. Even the juniors, I can cast them into a 20-mile-an-hour wind, probably 30 yards.
Oh, for crying out loud.
And they work out really well. This whole setup. I got these bobbers, as a matter of fact, you talk about the Rocketbobber, I got it right after it very first came out. I think I was probably one of the first ones around this area to even use it. And now, when the panfish run starts along the shorelines and in the marinas and in these bays and coves like what we're fishing today, you see people out fishing, 90% of them are using Rocketbobbers now.
Oh boy. So what do you think? What's so so special about these? You said there's some casting distance. You can cast quite a bit.
The main two things that I see on them. Well, actually 3 things. One, the most important one to me is being able to cast it and cast it with accuracy. Number 2 is the sensitivity of it. It's times like I think if a fish swims through and looks at it, it actually starts to move a little bit so you know they're down there. And then 3 is the visibility of it. You got a couple of different colors you can put on tops and bottoms and such to adjust for the visibility. So it's just those three things right there
Mm-hmm.
are the most important to me on this anyhow. The castability by far is the most important.
Mm-hmm.
And then that sensitivity just follows. They're a great product. And they got the two different sizes, of course. The smaller, the Rocketbobber Junior, I think around here seems to be the more popular one because there's just a tremendous amount of panfish fish in them. But they're both equally as sensitive. They got a little bit bigger one too, and that works just as well. So. And then I've always been a plastics person. If I can catch them on plastics, I'm going to, so I have to mess around with waxies and minnows and worms and
Right. Boy, that thing didn't even hit the water. It was standing up. What was that?
just barely hit. I'm guessing the way that hit, I'm guessing that was probably another one of those little perch. Seems like when the crappies hit it, like crappies or bluegills hit it, it comes about halfway up. If even that, sometimes it just barely starts to come off the water and it'll start to move to the side a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I've caught them on here where I know for a fact if I was using, say, one of those round bobbers or something like that, that I wouldn't even have known the fish was biting at that time. Especially if you're using like a black ant or something that has absolutely no weight to it whatsoever.
Uh-huh.
You really need that sensitivity.
That's what that other guy was using over there.
Oh, yeah, I see he's doing better than me.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got a little live bait on.
They get a little stubborn when it comes to the plastics. I've had a lot of good luck on them, and so I like to kind of do that.
Well, there was one.
Yeah, this one's kind of running to the side a little bit. It almost feels like a small gill, maybe. Like, scattering minnows as he comes in, so.
That must mean there's some crappies around then or something.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Oh, it is a small gill. Well, that's actually a nice gill.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Let's see. Can I see that?
You betcha.
Well, that's a nice looking gill.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I really like about using the plastics is you can catch these, you can catch perch, crappies. I've even caught brown trout and white bass and walleyes on this little thing, mostly by a fluke.
Uh-huh.
But everything seems to hit it, and